All right, I think we live. I think we live. Peace, peace, peace. Love, harmony, and light. Let me just make sure we have audio. Give me a second. Harmony and light. Yeah, we got audio. We good. We good. All right. I think I could hear myself. So just want to make sure that you guys could hear me. I'm gonna give you guys some time to tune into this live feed because hey man, we got work to do. All right. We got work to do, and the time is, I wouldn't say it's running out because time never runs out, but there's a lot of work that we got to put in as a people. So again, all I'm just doing is playing my part, and that's all I could do. I can't force anybody, to gravitate to the information. I cannot force anybody to let this information resonate in their heart. All I could do is just bring the truth, bring the knowledge, and continue to vibrate on that high frequency. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I have no time for negativity. Those people, man, their path already paved out the same way my path is already paved out. And I'm moving to the next realm. I'm moving to the next dimension. So I'm good. All right. I'm the manifester high, peace, love, harmony, and light. This is all about truth. I'm dropping. And like I tell everybody, man, don't believe anything that I say. Do your own research. Is the only way you're gonna know if this truth is for you. You know what I'm saying? And this video I'm about to drop today, it has nothing to do with religion. Okay, I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care. I don't care if you call yourself a Christian. I don't care if you call yourself a Muslim. I don't care if you call yourself, a Jehovah Witness. I don't care if you call yourself a Catholic. I don't care what you call yourself. Okay, regardless of whatever sect of religion that you gravitate to or you subscribe to, one thing that we have in common is this: we have all been colonized in our home. Okay, so we're gonna forget all the differences that we have. We're gonna take a look today at what we have in common. Hey, peace, brother. Star Strike. Let me know if you guys can hear me because it's important that you guys hear me today because I'm gonna drop some great information. Again, work needs to be done. So I'm not out here playing. All right, I'm not here to play. I'm really, really serious about this. As you guys know, I've always been serious about this. So let me know if my audio is good. Mic check, audio check, real quick. Let me know. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. Just want to make sure because I don't want to just be talking and come to find out you guys can't hear me or the audio is not up to par. So let me know what's up with that. Anybody could give me a song check? Anybody? Anybody in the house tonight? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. All right. So I'll wait for that song check. All right, beautiful. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And I'm gonna get to your question. Why 2020 specifically? I'll get to that in a minute. But what I was saying is that let us forget the differences that we have, okay, as a people right now, because this is coming. This is like literally crunch time. It's about that time where it's crunch time. And like I told y'all before, I'm not doing these videos to instigate fear. All right. I'm not doing that. I'm doing these videos to let you know that this is real. This is real and it's not a game. The colonizers are not playing games. All right. We are prisoners of war in our own home. And people don't seem to realize how serious this is. Once again, because you have a job and you go into school or you could take care of your children and you're paying your bills on time, it doesn't mean that you're living life. My brothers and sisters, there is a difference between surviving and living. Okay, the creator, the Most High, you know, created this home called Earth. Okay, for us to live in, to live life, and to have dominion over everything, all of their creation. Okay, and what we have to realize is that we are in a perfect time right now, but yet still it's a devastating time for those who don't know. Okay, and ignorance is going to be the detriment to a lot of our people, the so-called American Aborigines. Lately, I've been doing videos, not more so talking about titles, but talking about man and woman being created or manifested in the likeness and image of the Most High. But in this video today, I'm gonna touch a bit, a bit on being an American Aborigine. Okay, nationality. I'm gonna talk about a few of those things today because it's important and it has a lot to do with 2020 census that's coming up. Our people don't realize again the game that's being played. All right, these people are always 50 moves ahead. And when I say these people, I'm talking about the colonizers, the people who have stepped onto our land. Okay, we welcome them with open arms and they took over everything. Now say it's our fault, say it's our ancestors' fault. No, it's not. Because you know what? Our ancestors fought to defend our home. They fought to defend who they were. And here we are today, the same people, okay, of those said ancestors, their descendants, the posterity, they are lost. Okay, they have no idea who they are. So they are a nationless people, a stateless people. And again, trust me, y'all are not going to like what y'all going to see, within the next year up to 2020, because it's going down. Remember, I told y'all before that so-called slavery that took place on our continent. All right, that was, again, it was exaggerated. That's number one. And number two, we were not physical slaves. Yes, a few of us were enslaved physically, but that enslavement is mentally. That enslavement came from, capturing what you call, the awareness of your spirit, okay, your spiritual self, and taking everything inside of you and putting it outside of you through religion. That's where the enslavement came in. And it was supposed to be for 400 years. And like I told y'all before, 1619 plus 400 gives you 2019. And that's why they have the census in 2020, because they put Trump. The trumpet has sounded. Again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I have to make this redundant so you really get a true understanding of how severe this is and how important it is that you get it. Okay, so the trumpet is sounding, and they put this man in place to do things, to do inhumane things, so that they could blame it on this one man. In other words, he took a check, okay, so that he could do certain things, so he could be the fall guy. But all of it is disguised again to continue to keep you as prisoners of war. But remember, all that stuff is being done voluntarily. You are the ones volunteering yourself. So we're going to talk about a few things today. Again, I'm not here to down your religion, but I just want you to know the religion that you believe in or you subscribe to is all dogma. Okay, it's all dogmatic. All right, the religion was created by man. Okay, it was created by man, and the true teaching of what the secrets that the esoterics held was the key to self-mastery. Okay, self-mastery. I know everybody talk about Mason this and Mason that and all this stupidness. Okay, you have to be a master of yourself. For one, because you are created in the likeness and image of a master. So obviously, if a master created you, then you're supposed to be a master. And even in the allegorical Bible, and I'm saying allegorical because I don't take it literally, it wasn't meant to be taken literally, but in the allegorical Bible, even in Psalms, the book of Psalms, what did the so-called Jesus said, the allegorical Jesus said, that ye are gods. And I'm going to ask you again, if a dog has puppies, in 200-300 years, if it lived that long, it's still going to be a dog. If a cow has cows, in 200-300 years, they're still going to be cows. Okay, if a horse have horses, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's going to be a horse. So my question to you is this: if our ancestors, they were the aborigines of this land, how is that in 2018 you're something else? Now, if you don't wake up to see that that's a trick that was played on you, then something is wrong. Okay? Because a lot of people are subscribing to being African. And you know what? That's who you are. I respect that. The truth of the matter is they are our relatives. Whether you want to call them brothers and sisters or cousins, whatever you want to call them, we are still related because we all came from that Negroid stock. But we still a different phenotype. Okay? But I tell people, know the truth. And again, I'm only here to speak the truth. You do what you want with the information. Okay? We are not Africans with some American. No, we are Americans with some African blood in us, because even before the colonizers came to our land, our people on this continent, this landmass, and mind you, we are the largest continent on this planet. The largest continent on this planet. Don't let nobody fool you. The Americas with the surrounding islands, that's the largest continent on the planet, not Africa. Don't let nobody fool you with that. But what you have to know is this, and which it's a fact, that we have always done business, commerce. We have always traded with our brothers and sisters, okay, through the connection of the Mississippi and the Nile. Okay? We brought civilization down to the Nile. When the men, our ancestors, went out to hunt, okay, to guard our territory, whatever, our women sat home and got creative. And our women were the ones in charge and created and built that civilization. And our men took it down the Nile into what's now called Africa. And once again, how can you prove this, Chief? I could prove it because even today, our brothers and sisters from Africa, they come here for two reasons. Okay? They come here for better opportunities, and they come here to take from us. And that has always been the case. There is nothing new under the sun. So if it happened 25,000, 2,000, 200, whatever years ago, and it's still happening now, it's just happening in a different context. So that whole theory that life originated in Africa, it's a theory that has no facts to it. And they know. So again, this has nothing to do with religion. We're going to speak facts today. We're going to speak reality. So regardless of whatever religion that you claim to, whatever so-called God that you pray to, that's irrelevant today. Okay? What's important is the fact that regardless of whatever religion or whatever you call your so-called God or creator or most high, guess what? As long as you have that darker hue, you are colonized. You are being forced to assimilate. In other words, live another culture, live the life of another culture that came and took what was yours. At least we could agree on that. I hope we can, because that's a fact. Okay? Since as long as these people have been on our land, we have been at war, and we are still at war. You may not see it because you want to fit in. You want to get comfortable. You know, you want to keep up with the Joneses. And of course, let us not talk about the distractions, because you cannot see anything else. And it's done intentionally. So every season, whether it may be winter, summer, spring, or fall, they give you a distraction, because what they did was, even if, again, our people weren't enslaved, they did have a few of us that were enslaved, and they studied you. They studied us. They looked at our ways. They checked our DNAs. And for those of you who say DNA can't prove who you are, well, guess what? You are wrong. Because if DNA could put you at a scene of a crime, okay, whether you allegedly raped somebody or murdered somebody, and forensic could come and take your DNA and say, well, you were there at such a particular time, day, okay, to the second, and they could send you to jail for life, or they could execute you. How can you tell me that DNA can't prove that you're an American Aborigine? Now, it may not specifically say, well, you are from that particular tribe per se. However, if they have DNA, and they do have DNA of our ancestors, then they match that up to them, then guess what? DNA can prove that you are an American Aborigine. However, I don't suggest that you take the test from those, what you call those mainstream, those commercialized DNA testing places. And people say, well, hey, they will take your DNA and do this and do this and do that. Let me tell you something. They already got it. From the moment you were born in a hospital, they already got your blood. They already got it. So in all these experiments, okay, using all these different and all these different experiments to control your life, why can't you use that same, okay, that same process or procedure, all right, to state who you are? Again, we are going to have a very logical discussion today, and we're just going to speak facts, okay? Not your emotions, just straight facts. And I want you to disprove everything that I'm saying, okay? Because from day one, I've always started doing videos. I've always kept it 100, always kept a light heart. And that's what's beautiful, because you see, the people who are here to create negativity and division, they will show themselves eventually. So I have to stay above the fray and keep coming with that positive energy. All right. Keep coming with that true knowledge. But we're going to get into a few things today. So the key is to master self. Master self. That is the big secret. There is no master over you per se right here. Okay. The I am in you is the master of the physical man or woman in you. So you have to learn to master self. That's number one. All right. And the Most High, again, may I reiterate, gave us dominion over everything. In other words, all of their creation. And I'm saying their creation because if we have a physical mother and father, how can we not have a spiritual father and mother? When it clearly states, okay, in the so-called allegorical Bible, in the so-called Lord's Prayer, and I don't subscribe to that term, a Lord, because the only Lords that I know, they live in England. But yes, still they're in the Bible. So that goes to show you again, who is the Lords in the Bible? Your conquerors, the colonizers, but we're not going to turn that into, again, religion. However, in the so-called Lord's Prayer, it says that our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. All right, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. They are telling you right there in the so-called Lord's Prayer that it's so as above, so is below. So therefore, if below you have a physical mother and father, how come above the mother just disappeared and it's just a father? Again, religion, the religion dogma, religious dogma teaches people that the so-called hell and heaven that you're looking for, it's within you. Okay? And based on your actions, your intentions, your thoughts, okay, either or will manifest. It's either you're going to manifest hell or you're going to manifest heaven within. And if there's heaven within, then heaven could be without. If there's hell within, then hell will be without. And that's the key to self-mastery. Not allowing any government or any institute to control you, because they are not living entities. So how can a non-living entity, an entity without blood, control a man or a woman that's real? You see how things are backwards. But why are we allowing that? We are allowing that because, again, it's voluntary. It's a voluntary system that you think that you have an obligation to, that you think is mandatory, because you know why? We don't read, we don't study, we don't research. They say that's what it is. Then you know what? That's what Master said it is. Then that's what it is. But I beg to differ, because I'm a man first and nobody controls me. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot force me to do things against my free will, because I don't have the big guns that you have. But I'll tell you one thing, I would rather stand up for something and die for that one thing, which is the truth, than live a lie. Oh, and by the way, there's no such thing as death. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And I mean, at one point, I even used to say there was physical death, But then I was doing some meditation actually last night, and it came to me as clear as day that there is not, this physical death doesn't even exist, because your body, all this is cells. It is made up of different cells, right? And even when this physical body goes into the ground, we give back to Mother Earth what she gave us. Okay, she gave us the plants from the earth, okay, that help us nourish ourselves, give us the oxygen, right? But then when our physical body goes back into that earth, we become manure. We become, that nourish. We're giving it back to her. So therefore, there's no such thing as physical death. And we absolutely know that there's no such thing as spiritual death. Because if the I am in us is eternal, then how can the spirit die? So when you have people running around with so much fear and they're afraid, and I say, well, if you believe in God and you call yourself a Christian or whatever you want to call yourself, then shouldn't you want to die and go meet the God that you believe in? If it's such a beautiful place, or heaven is such a great place, man. So I have to ask those questions to see how sincere and how much you truly believe what you believe in. Or are you just a follower? And when you follow, that could be a very dangerous thing. It depends on who you are following or what you are following. Be careful and don't become a sheep. Because if you know the nature of a sheep stand by and allow the wolves to do anything. You will have 1,000 sheep, all right, in a field, and one wolf would come along and it would bite the neck of one sheep, and the rest would just stand up and look and be like, bah, bah, right? And then it would consume that one sheep, and it would go to another sheep, and the other 999 other sheep would just stand up saying bah, the same thing, until that wolf goes straight into all those sheep and eat them off. And the wolf will not fight back. So if that's what you want to be, that's a choice. So their DNA, when our DNA says sub-Saharan African, yet pale folks, DNA says Irish, German, and such. Original people everywhere were colored. So who is telling the lie? Well, the truth of the matter is, like you said, the original people of the planet are the heavy melanated people. That's just the truth of the matter. You see what I'm saying? So whenever is the concept or the classification of changing things. So when they say that, your DNA come from this and come from that, all they're telling you, it came from the original people. You know what I mean? The Irish are original people. The Germans are original people. The British are original people. The Europeans are original people. But I'm speaking specifically, okay, of finding out if you are truly an American. And that's possible through DNA. People saying, oh, well, it's not. Well, I'm here to tell you it is. But again, doing those popular DNA commercialized things, they tell you it's for entertainment. So they will put you in Africa. So we have to be very mindful of that. So again, self-mastery is the key. Learning how to master yourself. You see, the only reason why governments play the role of parents is because our people, or just people in general, are walking around here like children, adolescents, children who cannot take care of their businesses. They cannot handle their affairs. Okay, so what do you need? You need a parent. Even when you become 18, which is the legal age, right? You're supposed to be an adult. You still have the state of mind of a child, the minority. So therefore, you are still caught up in the system as a minor. They don't call you a minor or a minority because we are less in number. No, we are the original people. So how can we be the least in majority? No, they're talking about in the context of a state of mind. So we are going to go for, through a few things today. So like I said, that hell and heaven exist within you. The same way that good and evil exist within you. The so-called God and the devil exist within you. And the one that manifests the most is the one that you feed the most. Okay? But one of our major downfalls is trust. We don't trust each other. Now, whether there may be merit as to why we don't trust each other, I mean, I think that's kind of like yeah, you know, I think it has merit to it. But where did that behavior come from? Hmm? It stemmed from a couple of things. People who look like us came to our land and they assisted the colonizers in capturing and taking over our land. So that was a lack of trust for people who kind of look like us. But here's where the real trickery came in, right? We were taught that we shouldn't trust each other because they said that, you know, again, the using that device of divide and conquer. You see, that's your brother who did that to you. But what they didn't tell you was that brother was from another continent. So now you thinking it's your own people that's selling you out. And yes, some of our people sold us out. That's true. That is true. But we don't trust each other. But my question to you is this. How is that other ethnic groups, they trust each other? Do you think it's because they are better than you and me? No. It's because they have a true understanding of what trust means. Trust doesn't necessarily mean that, hey, I'm going to put my neck on that brick and I'm hoping that you don't drop a brick on my head. No, that's not what they're talking about. The trust that they have amongst themselves is on paper. It's all documents, paperwork that they create. So if they have lawyers that get involved and they sign documents, that's the trust that's created. So it's actually a trust set up. But our people think that trust only exists, which that's how it used to be before the paperwork. And that's where that term came in. Yo, my word is bond. Because we knew that in the beginning was the word. And the word, I'm going to use that term, God, okay, just for the conversation's sake. But for me, I know what God actually means. The etymology of the word God means to evoke, to pour a libation. Okay? But the Caucasian man came and gave you that term. So when you use that term, my question to you is, what are you evoking? Who are you evoking? Okay? But I'm going to use it, you know, again, for a lack of a better word. So we have to truly understand and understand exactly what's happening to us. We were studied. Yes, like how you would study to take a test. We were studied in, I'm talking about, man, like every single cell of your body was in a lab, and it's still in a lab today, testing what made these people so great. Why are they so great? And even more so, what can we do? What's some of the traits or some of the strategies that we could use to keep them down, to keep them divided? So they realized that we had a symbiotic relationship with nature. It's not that we worship nature. No, we honor things in nature. Okay, we didn't subscribe to fake deities. No, we didn't do that. But they had to take that away from you because they realized that everything that we did came from within. So they went inside of you, okay, and they ripped us apart. And they tell you, hey, what's inside of you is irrelevant. Step on the outside and start looking for a savior outside of yourself. But my brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you today, no one is coming to save you or me. We have to do it ourselves first. Okay, the number one rule, or one of the number one rules in nature, the laws of nature, is self-preservation. If you cannot save yourself, how can you save anybody else? I'm gonna give you a typical example. If you go on a plane and that when they read the instructions and they tell you if that plane is about to crash, what do? You put on a mask, right or wrong. Now they tell you, okay, they're very specific, and they say, if you have a baby, it doesn't matter if you have a baby or not, make sure that you put your mask on first. Why? Now, the first instinct, the first parental instinct would be, man, I want to save my baby. But what are the chances of you trying to save your baby, and while you are doing that, you die? And of course, we are speaking of the allegorical death, that is. So that's why you have to save you first. So once you are good, then you could save that baby. All right. Worst comes to worst, you save yourself and the baby happened to go. Then that was the plan. That was design. That soul came into this realm knowing that it wasn't going to pass a certain age in that temple, but it could come back in another temple. But self-preservation is number one. Learning to master self, loving thyself, knowing thyself. Who are you? And when I ask who are you, I'm not talking about your occupation. Who are you? Have you ever looked yourself in the mirror and asked yourself, who am I? Talking to that self that's within you. And when you ask yourself that question, do not open up your mouth physically, because I want you to prove to yourself that you have a higher power inside you that governs that self, that physical body. So when you ask yourself, who am I? Ask that question within. And I promise you, you will hear yourself speak without you opening your mouth. And again, that's proof and facts that the I am dwells within you. And until we take the time to get to know ourselves, then we are going to continue to suffer and perish and continue to hate each other. And that's a fact. That's why they give you all the distractions. So I was talking about seasons. They studied us so well. They know that we are seasonal. So every season, they have a different sport. Oh, well, next season. Well, it's football season. Oh, it's basketball season. Oh, it's baseball season. Oh, it's scandal season. Oh, it's power season. Why do they call seasons? Why are they doing it in seasons? You know why? It's because they have studied your DNA. They have studied you, and they know what ticks you off, and they know what things you gravitate to. They know how to play on your emotions through the seasons. And that's a fact. So you see, everything, the life that you are living, okay, is not your life. It was a life that was designed for you. It was a life that was created for you. And it wasn't created by the Most High. It was created by institutions, okay, that ripped our ancestors apart and studied every inch of their DNA. So they know everything that you like, that you love, to keep you distracted. How many of you right now that got children that's under the age of 10, but they already have an iPhone? Let's be real. How many of y'all have daughters that's not even 10 years old, but they already in nail salons getting their nails done? Let's be real. Again, let us not get your emotions too caught up in this. Let us kind of pass the negative emotions, like you reacting opposed to responding. Because I'm speaking of facts and truth today, as usual. But we as adults, we are doing this to our children. Because you know why? If you don't fix your home, then how do you expect somebody else to fix their home? And even more so, we had the concept of community, of a village. It takes a village to raise a child. Because what if my children are good, but yet still down the block, Miss Johnson's children is all messed up? And those are the children that my children have to play with. What do you think is going to happen? If you have a basket of good apples, all right, and then let's just say You have a dozen apples in a basket, and then 4 of them started going bad, and you do not take the time to take away the 4 bad ones, guess what's going to happen to the entire basket of apples? So what am I saying? I'm saying that if we don't fix our home and we don't help Miss Johnson fix her home, okay, then her poison, okay, her toxic children, her negative children will have an influence on our children. Now, what do you tell your children? Well, I don't want you to play with Miss Johnson's children, but mommy, daddy, those are my friends. And you know how we do. We get rebellious. The more they tell us don't do, that's when we want to do, because we want to prove something. That's just in human nature. We are rebellious by nature. So they are going to find ways to be with Miss Johnson's children. No, I'm not saying that Miss Johnson is a particular person, all right? Because I know how y'all think. You feel me? So I'm just using that name. Or well, let's say Miss Doe, because I don't want people hitting me up. Oh, well, I'm a Johnson, you know, again. I don't have time for all that, man. I don't have time for the semantics. So we're going to use Miss Doe. So if Miss Doe's children is toxic, and you are constantly telling your children who are not toxic, don't play with them, but yet still they go to the same schools, they live in the same neighborhood, what are the chances of them running into Miss Doe's children and getting a dose of that toxicity? Huh? You tell me, when you're at work all day for 24 hours, almost sometimes, because people work for 24 hours. I know nurses who work for 24 hours and then they have a day or 2 off and they recycle that again. Sometimes people have 2 jobs. So now your children, they are there. You don't know who they're with. Sometimes they're even with your own relatives who are toxic. But because you want a babysitter, because you are stressed out, you got to pay the bills. You got to go to the nail salon. You got to buy bags. You got to buy rims. You got to buy the new car. You got to pay the rent. You got to pay the light. You got to buy the new phone, the next new computer, the next piece of technology. Working on everything outside of yourself, opposed to what's within you, which is priceless. And then you ask yourself, why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to my people? Well, I'm just giving you the answers. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, that's on you. But the truth will not change, whether you like me or not. It will not change. And I'm going to forever continue to speak the truth. So here we are. Okay, a nation of people with no nationality. I'm going to say that again. Right? Here we are, a nation of people with no nationality. And the reason why that video, again, by 2020, is because the 2020 census is coming up. And again, they put Trump, the corporation, president, because I'm going to ask y'all again, which I asked y'all in the video yesterday. Before July 4th of 1776, where was the United States? The United States didn't exist. And I want you to prove me wrong. Before 1776, July 4th, where was the United States at? And before that, there was the 13 colonies. And before that, we were just the American Aborigines, labeled American Indians, colored after a while, fighting to defend our home. And within battles and fighting and treaties, we decided to form the 13 colonies. And then the United States said, they say, well, hey, you know what? We want to do some commerce on your land. What can we do? Because we here, are we going to keep on fighting or are we going to work out some deals? So we said, okay, you know what? We're going to let you form a corporation, okay? The United States. And you only are allowed to do business within a 10-mile radius of what's called the District of Columbia. But keep in mind, it is not on our landmass. It's just a corporation that's here. It is not part of us. Within the 10-mile radius and the rich port and Guam and a couple other small islands. When I say the rich port, you know what that means, right? Puerto Rico, because that's what it means. That's where your birth certificates be going to. That trust, that's where it's at. That trust is set up in Puerto Rico. if I'm not mistaken, because you see, I don't want to tell you anything that's untrue. So anything that I say that's not true, please challenge it with some facts. And then you have the Indian Citizen Act of 1924, which made all of us citizens, but at the same time, there was a provision in there that said only if it doesn't affect you as being an Indian. But it did, because we don't have our land. Okay? We are the original so-called Indians, but somebody else took our place. So that means you are not citizens. So that means you are literally a ward of the state. You are corporate entities. You don't exist. You are not real. You are a fictitious corporation. But you're walking around, hey, Black Lives Matter. Oh, I'm African American. Well, I have a question to ask you. Go on any map and show me any place that's called African American. I'll wait. So what nation are you from? And that's why it's imperative. That's why it's so important, that 2020 census, because it's going to change your lives. For those of you who can't hear, I know you are listening, but for those of you who can't hear, because you see, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Sometimes people say, well, oh, I'm listening to you. Oh, I know you're listening. The question is, are you hearing me? But those who have ears, let them hear. It didn't say let them listen, because apparently your ear seems to be on the outside and you seems to be listening when you're paying attention. But it said, let them hear. And those who have eyes, let them see. What does that mean? It means that you have physical eyes. So if you have physical eyes, why is it still saying that you are supposed to see? They're talking about that internal sight, insight, not outside of you, but inside of you. Insight. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. You see, the truth that I speak is universal, whether you like it or not. So like I said, I don't give a damn how you feel about me. I don't care what you hear about me, because I know it's not true. But the mere fact that you fell for the lies, it says a lot about you and your character. And it shows how weak you are to allow negativity and other entities to poison your own thoughts. That's how weak a lot of you are. And again, I speak universal truth. And I'll continue to do that. So we're going to talk about the whole concept of African American and Black lives and all that. We know that Black people don't exist. I have showed you that, you guys, that a million times. Okay? Black is an adjective. It's a color. First of all, you are not Black. All right? You are the copper-colored races, the brown tone, the reddish kind of undertone man and woman that was found in the Americas by the Europeans, and now the term is being applied to the descendants of the Europeans. In other words, they took your place. And that's the definition in Noah's Webster's 18 dictionary. Go look it up yourself. So we don't have to beat that dead horse no more. But here you are still calling yourself in 2018 Black. I'm proud to be Black. In other words, you're saying that I'm proud to be dead because you have that foolish pride. You don't want to let it go. I have never heard an Asian say yellow lives matter. How is that I've never heard this so-called Caucasian say white lives matter? Because they are not white. White is a status. They are pale. But I've never heard them say pale lives matter. It was said that Barack Obama was the first African-American president, right? That's what they say, right? Okay. Well, let us put that theory to the test. Okay, let us get into this. Let us get into this. I'm gonna put in some work today. All right, because after a while, I'm gonna take another long break. Okay, because again, this is too taxing. All right, it's too much work and energy trying to, again, I'm not here to save anybody. However, I am here to give you the information so you could save yourself. I am not your savior. I don't want to be nobody's savior. Like I told y'all before, I don't want nobody following me. I want to walk with my brothers and sisters who are righteous, those that have a light heart. That's who I want to walk with. All right. So let me share my screen here for a second. Give me 1 second, please. All righty. So here we are. We're gonna go to African American. All right. So we know African American, also referred to as Black Americans, right? Afro American, all that. Afro American, an ethnic group of Americans with total or partial ancestry from any of the Black racial group of Africa. Okay, that's what they are saying. But it said that Barack Obama was your first African American president. All right, let's just see here for a second. Okay, because y'all really think y'all really Africans. And that's the sad part, because when you go to Africa and you go to Nigeria and you ask a Nigerian where is he from, he's gonna say Nigeria. He's gonna say he's a Nigerian. And when you go to Ghana, you ask a Ghanaian, where are you from? Who are you? They're gonna tell you I'm a Ghanaian. They don't say they're African because they have a nationality. They know who they are. They know who they are. But you have these lost people here who say they're from Africa. They don't know what part where. And then when you go to Africa with you need a visa. And you go as a tourist. So how are you African? But you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll let you ponder on that for a second. All right. Let me see Barack Obama. Let me see if I think I'm gonna spell the name right, I think. All right, oh, B-A, Barack. Okay, Barack Obama. All right. So Barack Obama. I say, let me just see what I'm gonna have here on Barack Obama real quick. All right. Barack Hussein Obama, born August 4th, 1961, is an American politician who served as the 44th president of the United States, the first African American president. You hear that? The first African American president. Now, do you really think Barack Obama calls himself an African American? Do you really think so? Even if that's what Wikipedia says, he's the first African American president? Well, let's see. Let us see. Let's go to CNN real quick. Let's go here. I'm going to show you who Barack say he is, not what y'all say he is. Okay, Barack Obama. I am the first Kenyan American to be president. The man is telling you who he is. He has a nationality. He is Kenyan. But you see the trick that was played on y'all. The game that was played on y'all. Okay? Everybody, first African-American president. Barack Obama is not an African-American. The man tell you, I am the first Kenyan American president. In other words, a Kenyan was a president of the corporation before an American Aborigine, a foreigner, an immigrant. I know a lot of y'all are going to get mad because of this, but I'm showing you the proof right now. But that's the game that they play with y'all because y'all don't know who you are. Okay? You don't know this thing has nothing to do with nationality. It's a corporation. So anybody could be the president of a corporation. Trump is not an American. Trump is a United States citizen. And he's the president of the corporation. All right? So let's take a listen just a little bit. We're not going to play the whole thing, but let's see if we get anything from his own, his own mouth. CNN. Okay, come on, internet. Come on, man. We need to drop these jewels for the people. Come on. Let's do this. All right. Bear with me, guys. There we go.
Elevate the moment with every drop. Kim Crawford, Undo Ordinary.
President Obama capped an emotional return to the land of his father with an impassioned speech steeped in Kenyan pride.
And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States.
Well, Chief Kalanago, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, Chief. Oh, let me hear it again.
United States.
Let me hear it again.
Steeped in Kenyan pride.
And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States.
You know what, Chief Kalanago? People say you don't know what you're talking about. You know, let us just hear it one more time in the man's own words.
Pride.
And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States.
Yeah. Guess who the trick is being played on? It's being played on you. Okay? How many times I gotta show y'all? I gotta show y'all. I'm showing y'all the proof. I am. He said it. I am. Now, whenever you make a statement that follows I am, that's resonate. That's truth. That's out there in the universe. I am the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States, in Barack Obama's own words. Barack Obama wasn't your president. That you were tricked. Again, you were fooled, bamboozled again. The man is not an American. He's a Kenyan American. In other words, his roots, he says he's Kenyan. He tells you in his own words. When is my people going to wake up? When are my people going to wake up? Again, we staying on point here. All right? This has nothing to do with religion, because we know pastors are just recycling, okay, regurgitating that same Bible. It's programmed. Okay, so we're not going to get into that. All right, but the paradigm of things are changing, where even the sheriff, okay, well, you know, sheriff, all that came from us. They are starting to tell you the truth that there is no such thing as African American. It doesn't exist. It's a made-up term. But yet still, y'all don't want to wake up to the truth. I'm trying to figure out, why is that? Why are we the only ones who's been called, Afro-American, colored, black, Negro, Indians? We're not even that. But they called us that when they came. We are the American Aborigines. Just like how you have the Australian Aborigines. That's their nationality. But you want to be black. A nationless people, a stateless people. Black means, you know, you are dead within law. Salivite matus. Go look it up. You don't have to believe me. And like I said before, we brought civilization into that landmass, that so-called landmass called Africa, because the Mississippi is connected to the Nile. We live on the #1 and the largest continent. Okay? And that's what this is all about. It's about real estate, taking over your land. The biggest landmass on the planet is the Americas, and we have been conquered. When are you going to wake up and stand up for your birthright? When are you going to stop playing the color games? When are you going to stop being a color in a crayon box and be proud of it? Don't you know who's funding these colorful games? Huh? Your oppressors are the one, they are the ones funding it, because you are volunteering yourselves. Man, I'm trying to give you all the information. Once again, the link for the book is below. Okay? Get the information, brothers and sisters. The knowledge is here. I did this for you. Okay? I could say I'm good. I really can. Even if I might get caught up, I'm just going to keep it real. And when I say caught up, what I mean by I might get caught up with the ignorance ones. I might. And the ones that lack the knowledge. But at least I know the truth. I gave you the information. I put it in a book for you. The link is below. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody have iPhones and everybody have this and that. What's in here? How are you going to free yourself? Huh? After the 2020 census, how are you going to free you? How are you going to prevent yourself from going to these concentration camps? Do you think it's a game? No, it's not. It's real. It's real. And y'all gonna wake up and learn the hard way, because 2019 is when that supposed slavery is up, the emancipation of that mental slavery. Okay? It's something spiritual. You have that window of opportunity. But anytime you go past that 2020, I'm telling you, you will go back into slavery. You will go back into that concentration. And again, I'm not telling you the truth to scare you. No, I'm telling you the truth to spark that fire in you to wake up and get your stuff together right now. Because those refugee camps are real. Because if you don't have a nationality, then you're a refugee. You cannot go to Africa because you're an African American. That doesn't exist. And even if you do go to Africa, you're going to Africa as what? A tourist. What tribe are you going to go back to? What tribe are you going to go back to? That's my question to you. All right. So like I said, I took a couple of key points and key notes so that I don't be too repetitive, and stuff like that. And peace, to my brother Jermaine, on Facebook, who's always dropping knowledge as well. I'm saying he's dropping some serious knowledge. All right. Okay. So like I said, you will be a tourist in Africa. And even the people who are in Africa don't call themselves Africans because they have nationalities, such as, again, Ghanaian, Senegalese, Ethiopian, Nigerian, Kenyan, etc., etc. You heard your so-called first African-American president who tells you in his own words that I'm not African-American, I am a Kenyan American. So again, let me ask you, who was the game played on? Who is the game being played on? It's being played on you. Okay? Now, that be lack power is lacking power. Get it? Be lack power is lacking power because it has no power. It doesn't exist. So stop calling yourself black. My brothers and sisters, you are walking into a burning building. Your children are going to suffer. Your elders are going to suffer. Reach out to your family. Reach out to your friends. Let them know, hey, did you know that we are not black? Did you know that we are not African? Do you know that we are the American Aborigines? It's time to plant those seeds. It's time to plant those seeds. How would you feel now that you know the information and you didn't call your cousin? You didn't call your mom. You didn't call your dad. You didn't call your brother or your sister because of some stupid beef or some stupid argument. Forgive. Reach out. Plant some seeds. Hey, you know what? I know we ain't talking about 20 years. I know we went through some stuff. I just want you to know I don't hate you. Okay? I'm going to keep it real. I feel like I love you right now. But I have some information for you. We are not Africans. All right? We are not black. We are not African American. We're not that. We are the original people of this land. We are the American Aborigines. We have always been here. Stop calling yourself that and teach your children that. Plant those seeds. Send them a video. Because at the ending of the day, you know what that's going to do for you? It's going to make your heart light. That's what's going to happen. And that's what it's about. Having that clear conscience, having a light heart, a pure heart. That's what it's about. Okay? And another thing, peace, I'm Daphne. A lot of times, all people go around talking about they love God, they love God, they love God. Well, let me ask you a question, right? And again, I'm using God for the lack of a better word. Okay? How can you love something that you have never seen, but yet still you cannot love your brother or your sister that you see every day? So do you really love God? Because God said God is love. And to know God is to love God, right? And again, I'm using that term, God, very lightly. Thank you, Sister Daphne. I'm using that term very lightly. So how can you love this so-called God you have never seen? You are only told. But you see me every day. You don't like me. You don't love me. You can't stand me. You hate me. Okay? I send you an email and I told you about my book, and you want to tell me I'm going to meet gunshots just because of an email I sent with love. Hmm? You see what I'm saying? So how can you love God when you've never seen God? You have no proof, okay, physical proof to see face to face that God exists. But your brother and sister that's right around you, you pass them in the streets like you don't even know them. You don't even say hi to them. How is your day going? I walk in the streets, I see brothers and sisters the same way because I'm not in the streets trying to get no booty. I'm beyond that. I pass that. I'm trying to uplift my people. And I would say, hey, Grand Rising, my sister. And she would pass with a screwed up face like I'm trying to get in your pants. I don't want to be in your panties, man. No, I want to get in your mind. And then even brothers say what's up, even mothers, sisters, because they taught us how to be so disconnected. And everybody's always walking, texting, and I'm like, damn, get off the phone. Look to see who is approaching you. See what kind of energy that you are approaching. And our people are so disconnected that it's not even funny. It's not even funny, for real. And again, it hurts. People who spread lies, Max Clark, peace. People who spread lies and propaganda will always try to bring down righteous people. Always. But again, there's no such thing as half truth. There's only truth. And I'm going to continue to kick that. All right? Like I told you before, Africans don't call themselves, so-called Africans don't call themselves Africans. So why are you an American Aborigine calling yourself African because of a movie Roots that you saw, which was a lie anyway? Entertainment. All right? Again, we live in the biggest landmass of Earth called the American continent. That's our home. Okay? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. From day one, they came and what the first lie they told was what? They discovered you. Now, let me ask you a question. How could you discover me when my people we already knew each other? We had already discovered each other from since inception. We have been here. So that means there was no discovery. No, we discovered your ass because we never seen you before. We've been here. And Turtle Islands is one of the names. Abiyala is one of those names as well. So y'all better wake up and recognize, all right? And what I'm telling you is this. Your ignorance is your choice. Remember, you have free will and you choose to be ignorant. You choose to wake up every single day, okay, and not pay attention to anything around you. You in that robot mode. I get up, you're programmed. You do the same routine every single day. And then you're on the street texting, walking. You get on the bus or the train, you texting, walking. You're in your car, you hit a red light, you get on the phone, you texting, walking. They have created robots. Robots. If you forget your phone at home, oh man, you trust me, you will take an Uber to go back and get your phone. That's how programmed you are. People are so lazy right now, right here in Brooklyn. Okay, they have Uber pickup in restaurants, West Indian restaurants. People live 3 blocks away and they're calling Uber to pick up their food. Am I the only one seeing these things? Am I the only one looking around Brooklyn and seeing that our people are becoming homeless? Am I the only one seeing that the Jews are buying everything up? Am I the only one seeing that the Jews own the world banks? So they're the only ones that get loans, but yet still they're always on welfare check lines? Am I the only one seeing that? They own the banks. They own the basketball teams. They own the football teams. They own the baseball teams. They own hockey, but yet still they on welfare. Am I the only one that sees that? But yet still, we could stand up in corners and smoke cigarettes, okay? Sell squares. The only square you're supposed to stand on is your square and standing on the truth, not selling squares. Man. But I'm telling y'all, by 2020, y'all better get y'all stuff together. Because I'm telling you, those FEMA camps are waiting. They are real. They are real. And if y'all don't believe me, y'all going to learn the hard way. I will tell you that. Y'all are going to learn the hard way. Okay? Give me a second. Let me refer to. All right. Another thing. I know there have been videos in the past, okay, of, you know, the government getting all these plastic coffins. I know you have seen that, and bringing them to the FEMA camps. Now you think that's into those concentration camps, right? You think that's a joke, right? Oh no, it's real. And as you could see right now, you see who is occupying those concentration camps, right? So-called Mexicans, so-called immigrants. But let me tell you something. That's only 10% of the population that are stateless, that don't have a nationhood on this so-called United States. Guess who the other 90% is? I'll wait. Yep. Oh, you haven't figured it out? You, the ones who call yourself Black and African American, that other 90% is for you. Oh, nah, FEMA camp is not our friend. Okay? But they will be their friends. You know why? Because those Walmarts, yes, they will be going to Walmarts, but there wouldn't be any checkout lines. They will only be checked-in lines. And guess what? You will be there permanently. And I promise you, they wouldn't have no big screen TVs in those Walmarts. So you wouldn't get to see Power and Scandal and LeBron. You wouldn't get to see that. Because that type of Walmart, they don't have checkout lines, only check-in. So for all those of you who think it's a game, you're going to learn. And I'm telling you, not again to scare you. I'm telling you so that you could prepare yourself. Get your affairs in order. Y'all want truth? Can y'all handle the truth? That's what I want to know. All right? And I tell y'all one thing. I don't care what nobody say about me. The truth validates who I am. I don't need nobody to validate me because I know people hate. I know people are filled with animosity and hatred. So I don't need them to validate me. The truth validates me, my heart. And trust me, my heart is as light as a feather. Screen contact, peace. That's one thing I know. That's one thing I know. All right? So like I told y'all before, I just told you, Mexicans would only occupy 10% of those concentration camps. But the other 90% is for y'all stateless people, your so-called Black people, your so-called African American, because on the census record, you have to, and they're going to force people because they're going to start having those checkpoints and asking you, what's your nationality? Where are you from? Who are you? And from the moment you say Black or African American, click, click, here comes the chain. Here comes the free ride to Walmart. You ain't going shopping. Okay? You check it in. And that check-in is going to be permanently. And your ass is going to be used for human resources. They already have it, though. They already have it on your jobs. Okay? And that's voluntary. But now it's going to be involuntary because you will be in that camp. So I want y'all to know. All right? I want y'all to know. All right? And like I said, it's over 5 million plastic coffin bins. And it's real. It's not a joke. Okay? As you could see, I told y'all I did a video about it. They instituted what's called the Real ID. Again, they're trying to tie you back into their system. It's another contract. They have you contracted. How many of you already rushed and got your Real ID? Real ID opposed to a fake ID. What's a fake ID? So you're trying to tell me the so-called driver's license that everybody had, all of a sudden it's a fake ID all of a sudden? My brothers and sisters, why do you continue to allow these games to be played on you? Why is that? So how is that The real ID was introduced in 2018 in January. So what type of ID you had before that? You're trying to tell me that the government is promoting and selling fraudulent paperwork? That the ID that you had before was fake? It's not real? I mean, are you guys thinking in the context that I'm thinking and that I'm seeing? Damn, I need some water. So that means the ID that you had was fake. So the government was selling you fraudulent documents. So now they have the Real ID Act. Oh, you know what, guys? The ID we had for the past, 25 years, it was fake. You know what I'm saying? So here comes the real one. And you're falling for that, right? But don't you know that it's voluntary? They tell you it's the law. It's not a law. It's a policy. And I'm trying to teach y'all. I'm teaching y'all the truth. How many of these so-called YouTube people that you subscribe to and you worship, stop worshiping these people? How many of them tell you the truth? Like I'm telling you the truth. Because they do it for likes, not for the love. That's the difference. I do it for the love. I don't give a damn if you like this or not. But I do it because I love you. So my brothers and sisters, get your affairs in order. I'm begging you. And again, paperwork is not going to save you. Okay? A lot of people hit me up and ask me to do paperwork for them. Okay? And even before I do anything, I let them know that that paperwork is not going to save you. It's what's within here and in your heart, your intentions. Okay? And you have to know how to speak the language. You have to know who you are has to resonate in your spirit, not just to flash a piece of paper or some type of ID saying that I'm American Aborigine or I'm an autochthon American. No, that's not going to save you. How can you articulate that? Can you stand on that word and defend who you are? That's when the real test comes in, and that's going to separate the sheep from the goat. I'm an Aries. I'm a ram, baby. I ain't no sheep. So y'all better realize that. People always ask, well, you have an accent. How could you be American? Well, guess what? America is a continent. And for y'all ignorant people, okay? Hey, Shelly, peace. For y'all ignorant people, the United States is not America. The United States is a supposed nation country, which it's not. It's a corporation that was formed in our landmass or on our landmass. Like I said, before July 4th, 1776, there was no such thing as the United States. But America is a continent, and the so-called Caribbean island is in the Americas. As a matter of fact, you see, they have us so disconnected. The people that's on the mainland, the so-called black people, the so-called African Americans, the so-called ones that's in the United States, they don't even know that my immediate ancestors, the Caribs, were the ones who fought the colonizers so hard. That's why it took them so long before they came onto the mainland. Yes, that's why they had to name the whole Caribbean after some of my ancestors, the Caribbean Sea. The whole Caribbean, because we fought them tooth and nail, and that's why they took so long before they came into the mainland. How many of y'all honor the Caribs for that? How many of y'all honor them for that? And come to find out, doing some more research about my family lineage, come to find out my 5th, 4th, and 6th grandmother, they came from Minnesota, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Cherokee, the Anion-Wea, the principal people. And I have proof of that. So when I'm talking, I'm not just talking to be talking. I could back and fact everything that I say. And the same people that were hating on me, I show them the proof and documents. But because of hatred and animosity and jealousy, you could never be me. Be you. Don't try to be like me. Because to be like me, you got to be righteous, man. You got to be truthful. You got to have true love in your heart to be like me. And you ain't got that. So you could never be me. So brothers and sisters, moving forward, I'm going to ask you, what's your nationality? Okay? The census, in fact, let me see. I think I have a form for the census right here. Let me see if I could pull that up. Give me a second here, guys. Okay? So you have the census form right here. Let me see. What am I looking at? Okay. This African Services Committee, right? Check this out. This is a website. It's called www.npr.org. Okay. It says, for the 2020 census, the U.S. Census Bureau is changing how it will ask Black people to designate their race. My brothers and sisters, all I could do is show you the facts. Whatever you do with it is your prerogative. I cannot save you. I am not here to save you, and I'm not trying to save you. However, I'm going to give you the knowledge so that you could save yourself. Okay? This is real. It is not a game. Okay? For the 2020 census, the U.S. Census Bureau is changing how it will ask Black people. First of all, Black people don't exist. So right there in itself, that goes to show you you are stateless. To designate their race. My question to you, what's your race? Black is not a race, my brothers and sisters. African American is not a race. And if you're from Africa, then go back to Africa, because you will be considered an immigrant in your home. And guess what? The only way for you to go to Africa is to go as a tourist. So let me ask you again, what's your race? Okay, if y'all don't get the significance of this, I'm telling you, after 2020, your life will become a movie for real, and it will be televised. Believe that. Under the checkbox for Black or African American, the Bureau is adding a new space on the census questionnaire for the participants to write in their non-Hispanic origins, according to a recent memo from the head of the 2020 census. African Americans, Jamaican, and Nigerians are listed as examples of origins on a questionnaire the Bureau is testing for 2020. Why Jamaican? Why Jamaican and Nigerian? You have to ask yourself those questions. Because for one, they know that Jamaican people, just like the Haitian people, we in the Caribbean, we don't play. We fight for ours. So they are trying to put things in place to control people. So when they know that you are Jamaican, then they could start keeping an eye on you. But what my Jamaican brothers and sisters need to know is Jamaica is in the Americas. So you are an American. So if I were you, I would not put Jamaican on this census, because that means if you say Jamaican on that census, then they will send your ass back to Jamaica. But you're an American. So that means you have the right, like your ancestors, to be on any part of this landmass without your rights being infringed upon. I'm giving y'all some jewels. Now, whether you want to take it or not, that's on you. The change means many Black people in the U.S. may have to take a closer look at their family trees to answer what can be a phony question. A phony question, a funny question. Where are you really from? My brothers and sisters, it's coming. The purge is coming. There is no coincidence that this summer, the first purge is coming. They're going to ask you, where are you really from? They're going to be checkpoints asking you, where are you really from? And if you can't back it up, they will pull you in those camps. Get your affairs in order, my brothers and sisters. Let your family know what's going on. Stop saying, I don't get along with my mother, my sister. I don't like my daddy. I don't like my this. I don't like my niece. I don't like. Stop the bullshit. And I'm not going to apologize for using that word. While many Black immigrants can cite ties to specific countries, that question is still difficult, if not impossible, for many US-born African Americans to answer. You know why? Because from the moment these people came into our land, they have been misclassifying us. They have been misclassifying us. I just want y'all to see this with your own eyes. Okay? It says, The Bureau has not responded to the NPR's question about why it is making this change to both black category and white category. Again, so for all you so-called, so-called Moors talking about white power and Form 181, guess what? They are changing that category because there's no such thing as white people or white power. Those are political statuses. So it says, which will also include a new right in area for origins. In other words, where the hell are you from? What's your origin? And if you don't know, oh, guess what? Like I told you before, I'm sorry. I can't help you. I can't help you. I am giving y'all the jewels, brothers and sisters. How many of them on YouTube that's doing that? That's what I want to know. Because you see what? They spend so much time hating. They spend so much time keeping you divided and distracted, calling you black. Brother Pharaoh, Allah, that's the truth I'm dropping right now. Stop calling our people black and African American because you know the truth. All right? Your girlfriend is on Instagram and she don't call herself black or African American. She calls herself American Aborigine. As a matter of fact, she calls herself a Cherokee. So why are you calling our people black and African American? Once again, I'm not throwing shade, but you're one of the people doing that. Sinetta, the conscious community. All right. Y'all constantly telling our people they're from Africa when you know we are not Africans. So I'm calling a few names. All right. I'm bro Sanchez. Man, listen, get it together, bro. It doesn't matter whether the earth is flat, round, or a square or a box. That's not gonna save you, bro. Bring the truth to the people. Stop doing these things for financial gains. And I'm not saying that y'all are doing it because I don't want nobody to misconstrue my words. Because you know how these haters are. They will pick certain parts of the video and go say Chief Kalanaga was saying this. I'm not downing my brothers. Okay? However, I want them to start telling the truth. That's what I want. Stop lying to our people. Stop talking about things that's irrelevant at the moment, that is. Okay? In 2020, they are going to stress this census thing. And you so-called black people and so-called African Americans will have to say what's your origin. And if you say Africa, guess what? They will give you a free plane ticket. You want to go to Africa? Go ahead. You'll be down there as a tourist, though. Because guess what? Even in the late 1700s, early 1800s, our ancestors who came from this land, they formed the colony of Liberia in Africa. That's all American Aborigines. I'm talking about Angola, Sierra Leone, even certain parts in Ghana. Our people was taken. Those are Americans in Africa. Okay? So unless you want to go to Liberia and say, listen, you know what? That's where I want to come. That's where I want to go. Then they will welcome you because they know the deal. If you really want to be in Africa. But for those of you that really want to get your stuff together, man, like I said, you have a short span of, you have a short period to get this done. Because the emancipation of that mental slavery, that spiritual awakening, awareness, it's really, it's here. 2019, you're going to be emancipated. But 2020, they're going to pull you right back into another 400 years. Depends on what you put on that census. Y'all think it's a game? They are always 50 moves ahead. You're playing a game that you don't understand or comprehend. And that's why I told y'all, get my book. Get my book. All right? Get my book. Get it. The link is below. This is for you. It's not for me. Whatever y'all want to think, the information is in there. And it goes way beyond titles. I'm talking about being a man and a woman and show you how to operate in the system as a man or a woman and learn how to win. I'm going to teach you how to win if you want to learn. Okay? Now, let us get into the how do I call that? The climax of this video. There's a certain part of the Bible, again, the allegorical Bible, because it wasn't meant to be taken literally. In the allegorical part of the Bible, it said that to get out of her, get out of the beast. Now, for many of you that have been subscribed to my videos for a while, you see my journey. Okay? Like I said, I've been doing this for all these people that's talking. I've been doing this since 2000 when my son was born. And when I was going through what I was going through with the system for being a good father, I created an organization called The Father in Me. Talking to fathers, teaching fathers how to be, teaching men how to be fathers, letting them know if I can go through it and still be a father, then you can. And I have YouTube videos talking about that. I've been doing that for a while. So for all you new jacks that want to come talk about Chief, know your place. Okay? I've always been fighting for my people. And moving forward, I was so inclined to saving my people. I started what you call an exodus, wanting to take people to Africa because everybody was from Africa. Everybody wanted to go to Africa, even if my grandmother had already told me I was a Carib. But because my people thought they were from Africa, I wanted to save them. And I wanted to take them to Africa. And the ancestors intervened and say, hey, no, son, we didn't bring you here to the mainland to take American Aborigines to Africa. So we're going to break your foot, put you down for 5 months so you could go back into your meditation. When I went back into my meditation, they gave it to me as clear as day. Chill, you're an American Aborigine. Do not do your people a dishonor and bring them across that continent. That's not where they belong. And people thought I was crazy. People thought I was hating. Oh, you're a sellout. You don't want to be African. I never said I was African. I said I was taking y'all to Africa. We was going to Africa. But again, I could only speak of my selflessness, that the passion and the love that I have for people willing to sacrifice me. Okay? But I realized at some point I have to stop doing that because I don't see people sacrificing. In fact, I don't want nobody to sacrifice their self. Trust me, for me. You see what I'm saying? And one, Shelly, one of the twins, they have been rocking with me from day one. And they were even one of the people. Okay, both of them said, Chief, okay, you want to go to Ghana, you have the land, we coming because we want to get out of the beast. We want to get out of her. And I love them to death. Well, I know there's no such thing as death. I love them to life because they know my heart. And regardless of all the negativity that was being told and spread about me, they stood up and say, you know what? I'm with you. I know your heart. I know you. And those things that are being said, I know it's not true. And even with my nation members, a lot of them believed that all those propagandas and those lies, and a lot of them left the nation, but it's okay because who laughed last, laughed the best. But I'm not going to laugh at you because I pity you for allowing negativity to poison you, to get in the way of something we were building and that was so great. And we're still moving forward. And yes, we were going to Ghana until the ancestors came to me and literally broke my foot and said, no, you ain't going nowhere. And the very next day, I'm talking about the next day in a cast, I did a video telling them, hey, you know what? I'm not African. I was just doing that for that reason. And people started calling me a hater. They hate me and all this. And oh, man. But you know what? I stood the test of time. I said that the truth will reveal. And those same people, some of them who said I was a sellout and they called me an agent and all type of stuff, they said, damn, Chief, you were telling the truth. You were telling the truth. And I will continue to tell the truth. So when they say get out of the beast, it doesn't mean get out of your land. This is our home. Even Martin Luther King said, I believe I have walked my people into a burning building. Because the Negro has been exiled in his own home. You cannot be exiled in somebody else's home. When Malcolm X went to Africa saying that we were Africans, he went down there and they said, bro, you ain't no African. Malcolm X came back and said, we are the Aborigines, but you don't like being called the Aborigines. But I'm going to show you the only way to beat the beast. And like I said before, you will not see videos like mine because I drop it hard and I drop it real and I drop it because I love. And I'm not here to toot my own horn. I know my heart. And the only way to defeat this beast is to defeat it from inside out. Remember, you're in the matrix and the agents are all around you. My question to you is this: are you the one? Are you Neo? I know I am Neo. Are you Neo? Neo is that individual, okay, whether it be man or woman, that will step into the belly of the beast and let it explode or implode from inside out and regain us as the organic people again. I believe I'm one of the chosen ones. In fact, I don't believe, I know. My question to you is, are you chosen? Are you called and chosen, or are you just called? And it's okay if you are just called, because you still have a role to play. But get out of the way for the chosen ones. And I'm serious about that. And that's what it means. You have to go within. It's the only way to beat the beast. Go within, all right, and change it from the inside out. And that's what I'm showing you how to do in my book. Okay? News flash. Everyone's a slave on less. The link is below. Get your copy. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for me. Like I told you, I'm good spiritually. Today or tomorrow, this physical body going to the ground, my ancestors would look down at me and say, son, we are proud of you. So I'm all right. But save yourself. You need the information to save yourself. And I'm going to conclude this video and show you exactly what I'm talking about. From the inside out, that's how you beat the agents. That's how you beat the beast. Become the one. Become Neo. Give me a second. Let me share that video with you. Exactly. I agree, Max Clark. I agree. That project, that Liberia was a project. Okay, it was a project where, you know, the so-called freed men and women, not that they were slaves, but however they owned the land. And we got it at the point where we were fighting, and they gave us an option. It's either we're going to fight, we're going to kill you or enslave you, or we could set up a colony in Liberia for you. So that was a project. Just like how you have the projects in the hood, all those things are projects. Okay, all the brothers and sisters in the projects are the Aborigines, but they over here wanting to be niggers. Hey, twin sis. They want to be niggers. They want to be black. They want to be African American, destroying each other. Self-destruction. That's what it is. But I think there will be enough of us to turn this thing around. I know that, not just believe. I know it. Okay, so let me share this video with you to conclude the climax of this video. All right, here we go. Pay attention to this. I'm going to show y'all this again. I'm going to show y'all this again. This is how we destroy the beast. We have to go within ourselves, find the truth, and go within the beast and dismantle that beast. That's how we have to do it. That's why I told you, know thyself. Neo had to find himself first before he could destroy the beast, before he could crumble the matrix. I'm going to show it to you one more time. My brothers and sisters, the forces are with us. The forces are with us. And it's up to you. It's up to you. Are you Neo? That's my question to you. Are you the chosen one? To be Neo, to be the chosen one, you cannot have hatred in your heart. Okay, you cannot be walking around with a heavy heart. You cannot be walking around hating your people and want to kill your people and destroying your people and spreading lies and propaganda on your people. You are not the chosen one. You are an agent. Okay, and we will destroy you. We will, because we are going to win. We shall be victorious. You see, they can't stop it, but we have to go from the inside in. And like I said, the link is for the book below. Get the book. And when you get the book, when you are done reading it, let us link up, okay? And let us put in this work, because there's work to be done. We got to be proactive, okay? The days for just us sitting around, it's over. The day for going around calling yourself black, we know better than this. Give up that foolish black pride. You are not dead. Stop being nationless. In 2020, when they ask you what's your origin, be very careful what you say. Share those videos. Share this video in particular. The word needs to get out. Peace, Brother Tico. All right? Get your affairs in order, brothers and sisters. All right? It is time. And they know. They know what's happening. Okay? They know this thing is crumbling, it's falling apart, and they're reaching at straws. So they have to contain all the stateless people. And that's what those FEMA camps is for. Okay? The 5 billion, not 5 million, the 5 billion coffins, plastic coffins. That's what it's for. Because it's only the original people. It's only the American Aborigines who get their stuff together will be saved. Like I said, there is order in the world. Everything is falling apart. The trumpet has sounded. Trump got out of the UN. The UN Initiative for Human Rights, they say, nah, forget that. We don't care about that, because they're going to treat you as personal property slaves, which you are. Now it's up to you. Do not leave them to assume or presume who you are. You have to let them know. Brothers and sisters, get the book. The link is below. I love you guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you anymore. But one thing I know is this: you will not be able to see live YouTube videos in those concentration camps. I will tell you that much. You wouldn't have the large screen TVs at Walmart. No, your hand wouldn't be on the remote control. Okay, now you wouldn't be in control, and there wouldn't be a checkout line. So you can't self-check. And there will be no cashiers to check you out, but you will be checking in, because they will have checkpoints asking you what's your origin, where are you from? And that's a very, very important question. The way you start that, I am. You see in the so-called allegorical Bible, what the Most High said, my name is I am, and that shall be I am forever. Be very mindful when you say I am, what comes after that. And man, I have already seen it. I feel sorry for our children. I feel sorry for our elders. I mean, I walk the streets, and if I have $3 in my pocket and I see an elder, I give her $1. I give him $1.50. I give it away, because my heart bleeds, man. It hurt. And I'm only one man playing my part. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I have given you all of me, but I can't do it no more. So I'm just giving you the knowledge, because I have to learn to save myself as well. But I'm giving you the information, and you do what you want with it. That's all I could do. I cannot force you to take it. Okay? I could bring you to the well. I cannot force you to drink water, because you have free will. And for me to infringe on your free will, that means I'm doing you a disservice. I'm doing myself a disservice. There's no honor in forcing a man and a woman to do things that they don't want to do. And I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to continue to walk in the light. I'm going to continue to stand on the truth. and just plant those seeds. But I encourage you to reach out to your family. Let them know that there are times that's coming and our people are going to be hurting. Our children are going to perish. Our children are going to die, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about it if you don't get your affairs in order. Because that means you have volunteered yourself to be a slave. I'm not joking. Okay? They are here. The copies are here. All right? They are here. Okay? Newsflash. Everyone's a slave unless by Chief Kalanako. Powerful, powerful, powerful information. The rest is up to you. All right? So with that being said, I'm about to end this video. And I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you just called? Or are you called and chosen? Now, you have to answer that question for yourself. Because only you know your heart. You know if your heart is contaminated. And you know if your heart is pure. So you cannot fool yourself. You could lie to me because it makes face. It looks good. But you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. So are you Neo or are you an agent? With that being said, you saw what happened to the agent. It is time. Let's get our affairs in order. Let us put our differences aside. Not everybody is going to resonate with this because some people came here to be destructive. Some people came here to prevent us from moving forward. They came from the bloodline. It's about bloodline. They came from a bloodline of ancestors that came to cause division and separation. Okay? To cause chaos. That's in their blood. They cannot help it. But a lot of us came from the bloodline that came to make change, that came to plant those seeds. There is only one root of the tree, brothers and sisters, but we are the branches. And you know what that root is? The root is the American continent. That's our mama. That's our home. And we are many tribes within tribes. We are tribes in tribes. That's who we are. Many people, but one people. Many branches, but one root. And the root is the American continent. The entire world is waiting on us. Even our brothers and sisters in Africa, they're waiting on us because they know who we are. The world is waiting on us to get up and change things. Let us stop letting ourselves down first, and let us stop letting down the world. People are perishing because we refuse to know who we are. We refuse to step up as the original people. Life started with us. Civilization started with us. It wasn't the other way around. We are the original. We were the first, and the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. It's our time. And nobody's going to take that away from us unless you want them to. So don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no bigger victory than in a man or a woman that know there's no such thing as death. Take my physical body, but you cannot take my spirit. I am willing to stand on my square. I'm not going to sell squares to my people. I'm not going to destroy my people. I'm going to give them life. That's what I'm going to do. The power of life and death is in the tongue, and I'm giving you life, not death. I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time for hate. I don't have time for animosity. I don't have time for that. It's too much work to be done. So put our differences aside and let us learn to love each other. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. If you see a sister that's fallen, pick her up. If you see a brother that's fallen, pick him up. Plant a seed. It may not resonate with them at that time, but they may find themselves in a situation where they hear your voice. They see that video, and that will spark that change. Our children deserve a chance like every other ethnic group that have children. They just want to be happy. They just want to be children without being shot in the street. At what point are you going to say enough is enough? At what point are you going to stand up and say, I am an American Aborigine? It is time. And if you're willing to walk with me, I'm willing to walk with you. Like I said, my email is always in the link below. I have so many answers and I have so many ways. I just need my brothers and sisters. That's it. Let us bring our plight to the world. Now that Trump don't care about human rights, now is the perfect time to let the world step in. Because the United States is not a nation. It's not a country. It's a corporation. And by right, they were only allocated a 10-mile radius within the District of Columbia. And they have overstepped their jurisdiction. Now it's time for we the people, the original people, to step up. Stand up. Stop being punks. And stop hating each other. Let's put our differences aside. So what you call your God Buddha? So what you call your God Allah? So what you call your God Jesus? So what you call your God Jehovah? So what I call mine the Great Spirit or the Great I Am? What do we have in common? We come from the same roots and we are being oppressed the same way. We are all captured, prisoners of war by the colonizers who have taken our place. Now it's time to regain our birthright. The biggest landmass on the planet is the American continent. It's our domain, it's our home. Now it's time for the American Aborigines to rise. Once again, the link for the book is below. I'm hoping that every one of you get a copy. Get a copy for your friends, your family. Give it as a gift. Spread the knowledge and see what I will do in return, because I've been giving you all. But there's more work to be done. I'm just getting started, but I can't do it without you. Yes, one man can make a change, but just imagine 10,000 like me, 10,000 brothers with my mentality, 10,000 sisters with my mentality. I promise you, we will turn this thing around. It's a promise. So it's time. Get your affairs together before 2020. All right? With that being said, once again, thank you for sharing your energy with me. Thank you for sharing your space with me. I feel you. I see you. I know your pain. I feel your pain. But I also see your joy. I also see your victory. Because I am you and you are me. We are all branches on that one root. And eventually our brothers and sisters in Africa, in Britain, all across the globe, we will be united. And we will read all this greed and poverty. Call me a fantasizer. Call me whatever you want. But I believe it's going to happen. But first, we have to start with ourselves. All right? Talk to you guys soon. Peace.